Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, this is a reminder that we should never forget people of Sudan that are being genocided by these groups that are alleged to be backed by the United Arab Emirates and also the people of DRC. The people of DRC and the people of Sudan seem to be caught in this geopolitical game where African lives are not taken into account and African lives are disposable. They are caught in this geopolitical battle for African resources where their resources should not benefit them, these wealthy countries, especially in the West, and these family dictatorships in the Gulf region, I think in the Persian Gulf region, that are causing the mass suffering of the people of Sudan and also the people of the people of DRC. But throughout the continent, these people are funding a lot of atrocities on the continent because they would do whatever it takes to get their hand on the natural resources of Africa and African people. In their these people, their ideology is that when it comes to African life, Black lives, it doesn't matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will try to do this weekly to remind us if we can boycott anything that is connected to these rich people in the UAE, whether it's your football team, whether it's, I don't know, the perfume. I'm not saying you should throw away the perfume you have today, but if you can try not to purchase from these people, you know, tons of gold. Africa produce tons of gold. The majority of gold that Africa produces is said to make its way to the United Arab Emirates. And Dubai is known for not for oil, but for gold. And that a lot of that gold comes from Africa. And a lot of that gold that goes to Dubai comes from conflict area where atrocities are being committed, whether it's in Sudan, in uh, Democratic Republic of Congo, and other resources make its way to Dubai. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to understand that a lot of these Gulf dictatorship, not just Gulf dictatorship, but a lot of these dictatorships within uh, the Middle East, whether it's in, I don't know, Jordan. I'm not afraid to say it, whether it's Jordan and or other countries. These countries were created by imperialist countries, whether it's the British Empire or so forth. These people were made to serve imperialism. So, of course, they are not acting on their own. They're being profited, of course. They're profiting from these uh, evil that they continue to support in Africa and so forth. But they are a partner. It's like they are they are the transit route. They're like the middleman. They're like a middleman. I don't know how to put it, but they're a partner of imperialism. And these countries are not independent. These countries are not the beacon of development like a lot of us thought. Yes, they have oil and so forth, and of course they give their population a certain, comfortable life. But they don't believe Africa and African states and African people should have anything. They want to take everything. And just as our leaders in Africa, which are at the bottom of the barrel, bottom of the, I guess, pyramid, they're just a little bit above us, and then above them is probably some dictatorship in the Middle East. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not go too further, but support the people of Sudan. Boycott what you have to boycott. Instead of taking a cheap trip to Dubai, donate it again, as I said, to some organization that are caring for Sudanese refugee or Sudanese people in Sudan, and or donate it to Jamaica, as I said. Donate it to something, but or take a trip somewhere in Africa, support some local economy. So, ladies and gentlemen, Uh, let's support the people of Sudan. Let's continue to raise our voice. And I myself want to speak at the core of what is happening, what is causing this. It's really hard to look at the suffering, but we know who is causing the suffering, who are funding this. And yes, it is said that the United Arab Emirates is alleged to be supporting a lot of these groups. So that's where we have to focus on, as well as focusing on the atrocities, speaking about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today.